Listen closely, because this isn't a lullaby. It's a switch that flips. Life does not wait for polite timetables or for you to finally feel ready. It moves like a rolling wave, and either you decide to cut through it or you keep swallowing salt. There comes a moment, quiet, ordinary, unannounced, when you realize nobody is coming to rescue you. Nobody is going to hand you the life you want wrapped with a satin ribbon, and nobody is qualified to tell you who you are except the person staring back at you in the mirror. In that moment, you either keep negotiating with your own potential, trading it for comfort, or you lock in. Lock in means you pick your direction and pour your attention there so consistently that everything else starves. Lock in means you stop trying to be everything for everyone. You stop trying to be a footnote in someone else's story. You stop buying opinions with the currency of your self-respect. You become a single, unbroken line moving forward. People will try to edit you. They will project their fear and call it wisdom. They will hand you their limits with a smile and ask you to wear them. Decline. You are not here to be a consensus. You are here to build a life so aligned that your choices, your tools, your calendar, your relationships, your habits, all point in one direction, like thousands of tiny arrows tattooed on the hours of your day. If you feel resistance right now, good. Resistance is evidence you're standing at the doorway of something that actually matters. When it hurts, when it gets quiet, when you feel alone, remind yourself. The path of originality always starts as a single footprint no one else recognizes. You are not late. You are not underqualified. You are simply one decision away from collapsing the distance between who you've been and who you are about to become. Make this practical. Start by choosing where your attention wakes up in the morning. Mornings are not just a time slot, they're a steering wheel. The first 10 minutes after your eyes open, set the default rhythm for the next 16 hours. If you spend them scrolling microdramas and comparing your insides to someone else's highlight reel, you have already surrendered the tempo of your day to noise. If you spend them choosing your intent, breathing into the shape of your priorities, writing what you will ship, who you will call, what you will learn, you reclaim authorship. Own your mornings, and you start editing the code of your reality. Move your body until your mind wakes up. Drink water before opinions. Write before you read. Set one promise to yourself that is too small to fail and too consistent to ignore. This isn't spiritual decoration. This is compounding interest on identity. Each kept promise is a brick. Each broken promise is a crack. Stack bricks. The world does not reward the dramatic gesture half as much as the quiet consistency. You want momentum? Tie it to actions so small you cannot talk yourself out of them. 5 push-ups, 10 minutes of reading, 1 paragraph shipped, 1 call placed, 1 prototype tested, every single day. This is how you generate leverage, not by yelling at the universe, but by leaving receipts that you are who you say you are. Characters are revealed in private. Confidence is built in private. Discipline is negotiated in private. Then the world meets you and calls it talent. You know better. It was 10,000 mornings where you chose signal over noise. Mindset is not a poster word or a cute wallpaper on your phone. It's the operating system under every decision. If the operating system says protect comfort, every challenge becomes a threat and every failure becomes a verdict. If it says hunt growth, every challenge becomes a doorway and every failure becomes data. You do not need motivational fireworks. You need a ruthless lens. Ask better questions. Instead of why is this happening to me, ask what is this training? Instead of what will they think? Ask what will this build? Let your questions be the gatekeepers of your focus. The brain is an efficient machine. Ask it for excuses and it will print them in high resolution. Ask it for solutions and it will develop new circuitry to deliver. This is not magic, it's mechanics. What you repeat rewires. What you visualize installs familiarity. What you speak frames the edges of what you will attempt. So speak like a builder. Visualize like a designer. Repeat like an athlete. Eliminate the echo chamber of fear by moving toward the thing that makes your pulse spike. There is a biology to bravery. Action first, confidence second. Stop waiting for the feeling to precede the movement. Move and the feeling learns its cue. Belief is a choice you renew, not a mood you wait for. It is easier to demand external proof before you commit, but that logic traps you. The prototype exists because you chose to believe before there was evidence. The first client signs because you trusted your craft enough to ask. The team rallies because your decision radiated more certainty than their doubts. Belief is not blind, it's focused. You aren't ignoring reality, you are choosing which part of reality to amplify. If all you amplify is risk, your nervous system will drag you back to average by any means necessary. If you amplify possibility and pair it with execution, your nervous system learns the taste of progress and starts craving it. You become a magnet for the kinds of opportunities that require courage to even notice. People call that luck. Ask them about their calendar and you'll find the truth. Belief without proof is not delusion when it is tethered to work. You are not hoping, you are iterating. You are not fantasizing, you are directing attention until patterns form around it. What you pay attention to consistently becomes visible, where others only see static. This is how markets open, how careers pivot, how art appears. Someone believed long enough to outlast the confusion phase. That someone can be you, but only if you trade passive wishing for active conviction. Say it, I will build the evidence, then start stacking it while everyone else waits for permission. Clarity is oxygen for difficult seasons. Vague goals suffocate your progress because they invite negotiation. The future cannot help you if you talk to it in fog. Write your decisions like a contract. What you will build, by when, for whom, with what values, against which alternatives, protected by which boundaries. Make the decision expensive to reverse. Decision debt kills momentum. Every open tab in your mind drains battery from execution. Close tabs. If you don't know what to do, cut the field of options in half, then in half again, until your feet can move. Simplicity is not simplistic, it's surgical. It removes friction so you can feel the edges of reality. With clarity, you start noticing the architecture behind the chaos. Which meetings actually move the dial? Which metrics are vanity? Which relationships are fuel? Which habits cost more than they pay? Clarity lets you say no without apology. It makes room for the work that compounds, the work that builds future optionality, the work that turns a skill into a signature. You are not obligated to be available to everyone who has access to you. Protect your lab, protect your hours. Clarity is not cold, it is kind. It saves you from the bitterness of divided effort and the regret of latent potential. Vision is what happens when clarity meets imagination. You are not here to color inside lines drawn by people who never held your pen. Sketch bolder, see the product before it exists. Hear the applause before the stage is built. Feel the culture before the first hire. Vision is not about predicting the future. It's about designing a future that is worth your discipline. If your vision does not move you to get up when no one is watching, it's not big enough. If your vision does not scare you a little, it's not honest enough. Think in terms of systems, not single wins. Picture the ecosystem of your work, the users, the teammates, the narrative, the ripple effect, and then make decisions that align with that ecosystem, even when the market is noisy. When the world says optimize short term, remember that vision pays dividends that quarterly thinking can't imagine. Obsess over the experience. Build for taste. Remove what's ugly, slow, bloated, and unclear. Let elegance be a constraint. Your aesthetic choices are not cosmetic, they're cultural. They teach your team how much respect you have for the user, and they teach you how much respect you have for yourself. When in doubt, simplify the interface and intensify the intention. That is how vision gets legs. Purpose is not an Instagram caption. It's the engine that keeps you building after midnight when the metrics are flat and your friends think you've lost it. Purpose is not found in a cabin or a seminar. It's forged at the edge of your capacity. You discover it by carrying weight, by shipping, by staying in the discomfort long enough to harvest meaning from it. If you want purpose, earn it. Serve someone. Solve a problem that interrupts your sleep because it matters that much. Stop auditioning for approval and go fix something broken. Purpose grows in proportion to responsibility. Take responsibility for the energy you bring into the room. Take responsibility for your standards, not just your outcomes. Take responsibility for the story you're telling yourself when the world shrugs. When your purpose is directional, everything else aligns. Your courage rises because it is serving something bigger than your ego. Your craft sharpens because it is feeding something bigger than your bank account. Your decisions get cleaner because you finally know what you're willing to bleed for. That is purpose, a north that survives weather. Discipline is freedom wearing work boots. People treat discipline like a prison. It's a passport. It stamps you into places casual effort never visits. It's boring on the surface because greatness is unglamorous up close. It's the repetition you do when novelty evaporates. It's the refusal to outsource your standards. Discipline is creating rules that protect your future from your moods. When you feel like it, you do it. When you don't feel like it, you do it. That consistency rewires your identity faster than any pep talk. Schedule your excellence. Put your priorities in the calendar and treat them like meetings with someone you would be terrified to disappoint. Your future self is that someone. Protect them. You don't need 80 habits. You need the right few that act like keys. Sleep like you respect your brain. Move your body like you respect your instrument. Feed your mind like you respect your craft. Audit your inputs like you respect your focus. And ship like you respect your name. When you fail, and you will fail forward, miss a day, not two. Make it impossible to spiral by shrinking the next action until it's frictionless. Discipline is not about punishment, it's about design. If you design your environment to make the right choices easy and the wrong choices expensive, you won't need to white-knuckle every decision. Put your phone far away, put your tools within reach. Put your temptations behind friction, then do the work. Action is the only confession that counts. You can be brilliant in theory and bankrupt in reality if you don't move. Action turns a foggy ambition into coordinates. Action outpaces doubt because motion generates data you can't access from the couch. You will never think your way into audacity, you act your way there. Build the prototype and let it embarrass you. Launch the draft and let it breathe. Call the client and learn where you're weak. Ask for the sale and learn how to listen. Publish the post, the design, the track, the feature, and take the feedback like a professional. Practice the habit of rapid, short feedback loops. Build, test, learn, refine, repeat. Shorten the distance between idea and experiment until your default is shipping. Each cycle is a vote for the future you intend to inhabit. Momentum loves rhythm. Don't break the chain. The person who shows up every day will outrun the genius who shows up when it's convenient. Stop worshiping potential. Start respecting progress. Potential is the promise you made to yourself. Progress is the receipt. Gratitude is not soft. It is strategic. It keeps your nervous system from burning itself to charcoal. When you thank the moments that look too small to matter, you train your brain to notice resources instead of only threats. Gratitude keeps achievement from turning you into an addict who can't taste what they built. It makes you dangerous in the best way because it stabilizes you. Praise doesn't inflate you and criticism doesn't puncture you. You can hold both, the fire to change the world and the grace to enjoy a cup of coffee without needing it to perform. Be grateful for constraints. They make you inventive. Be grateful for the competitors. They keep you honest. Be grateful for the customers who complain. They're handing you blueprints. Be grateful for the team that challenges you. Iron sharpens iron. Treat gratitude like maintenance for your intensity. It oils the engine so you can drive further without seizing. You're allowed to feel proud. You're allowed to smile at your own resilience. Just don't let the smile make you slow. Flexibility is not indecision. It is sophistication. When the market moves, move with it without losing your center. Hold your vision tight and your tactics loose. Iterate on the how, protect the why. The stubbornness you need is in your direction, not in your methods. Be ready to pivot, ready to kill darlings, ready to rebuild your favorite feature if it slows the user by a millisecond. Flexibility means your ego is not attached to an old version of you that no longer fits the work. Update yourself like you update your apps. Drop the bugs, patch the vulnerabilities, install better defaults. If the data contradicts your assumption, celebrate. You just learned faster than a competitor who is still married to their guess. Flexibility is not reactive chaos, it's responsive intelligence. The difference is intention. You don't drift with the current, you tack with the wind while aiming at the shore you chose. This is how you stay alive in environments that punish rigidity and reward reality. Resilience is non-negotiable because you are going to get hit. You will be misunderstood, doubted, copied, ignored, praised too soon, celebrated for the wrong thing, overlooked for the right thing, taken for granted, and occasionally betrayed. Perfect. All of that is training. None of it can touch you unless you make it part of your identity. You are not your metrics. You are the builder of the engine that produces metrics. Engines sometimes stall. Good. Get under the hood. Find the fault, improve the part, change the fuel, try again. Resilience is not the absence of pain. It is the fluency with which you convert pain into perspective. Let heartbreak strengthen your standards. Let disappointment refine your filters. Let failure punch through the delusion you didn't know you were carrying. Then move. Refuse to camp at the scene of an old wound. Life is short. Carry lessons, not luggage. The more public your work becomes, the more opinions orbit it. Learn to hear feedback like a scientist, not a defendant. Either it's useful or it's noise. Take what's useful, discard the rest. Keep your heart open and your boundaries strong. You can be kind and still be a fortress. Learning is your permanent competitive advantage. If you outlearn, you outlast. Study everything: design, psychology, systems, storytelling, negotiation, metabolism, sleep, finance, code, the way light touches products you admire, the way silence sets up a punchline, the way small words move hearts faster than big ones. Read to steal patterns, watch to steal timing, practice to steal truth. Become a beginner forever. The moment you get bored of basics, your edge dulls. The fundamentals always scale: clarity of thought, elegance of execution, ethics when nobody is watching. Apprenticeship is underrated. Find people who are masters at what you admire and sit close enough to feel how their standards make the air different. Then build your own standards higher. The world is changing faster than your pride. Let it. Curiosity keeps you humble, and humility keeps you curious. Together, they keep you dangerous. Document what you learn. Teach it to others. Teaching forces precision. It reveals where your understanding is still a sketch. You do not become obsolete if you stay in motion intellectually. Stay in motion. Now bring it all together. Picture your life as a clean, powerful interface. The user is your future self. Remove clutter. Highlight the essential actions. Make it intuitive to choose the hard thing. Hard things get easier when they are obvious. You know what matters. Focus on the work, not the theater. Design for the user, not your ego. Choose long-term leverage over short-term applause. Maintain standards when it's inconvenient. Recover fast when you slip. Surround yourself with people who don't flinch at ambition and don't reward excuses. Build cultures where it's normal to demand excellence and normal to give grace. Measure what matters and ignore metrics that make you look productive while keeping you average. Keep your promises even when your feelings change. Break your limits while keeping your integrity intact. You will be tempted to decorate your life instead of reconstruct it. Decoration fades, reconstruction compounds. If you want different outcomes, you need different inputs, different constraints, different friends, different evening routines, different narratives. Renovate without asking for permission. Focus is the sharpened blade. Most people keep swinging dull knives at their problems and wonder why they're exhausted. Sharpen, that means subtraction. That means a boredom with distractions that used to seduce you. That means refusing to conflate being busy with being useful. Focus simplifies the battlefield. One objective, one metric that anchors the weak. One ugly truth you stop dodging. One courage play you commit to before your brain invents an escape route. With focus, the difficult becomes digestible. Without it, even easy tasks become heavy, because everything demands your attention at the same time. Say it. I'm not available to everything anymore. Congratulations. You just created the necessary space for greatness. Don't fill it with more noise. Fill it with work. Prototypes, reps, revisions, conversations that matter. Decisions that close loops. Sleep that restores. Walks that refresh the algorithm of your brain. The goal is not to feel busy. The goal is to feel clean. Clean focus, clean execution, clean conscience. This is what the lonely road really looks like. Taking responsibility for your future in daily, unglamorous increments. You stop arguing with distractions and start starving them. You stop auditioning for people who don't share your values and start collaborating with those who do. You stop trying to be understood by everyone and start being undeniable to the few who get it. You earn self-trust by doing what you said you would do. You earn respect by keeping the quality bar where others drop it. You earn momentum by matching your intensity with consistency. And you earn meaning by pointing your strength towards service. Build something that leaves people better than you found them. Build something that outlives your mood. Build something your future children will thank you for in their own quiet way. This is not a rehearsal. This is the show. Your breath is the countdown. Your calendar is the script. Your actions are the only dialogue that matters. So here is the deal you make with yourself. You will be the steward of your attention. You will be the architect of your mornings. You will be the defender of your standards. You will be the student of your craft. You will be the servant of your purpose. You will be the author of your courage. You will be the guardian of your gratitude. You will be the inventor of your flexibility. You will be the engine of your resilience. You will be the librarian of your lessons. You will be the kind of person who builds evidence daily that you are exactly who you said you would become. And when people ask how you did it, you won't need to preach. You will point to the work, you will point to the years you spent designing your inputs until your outputs became inevitable. You will point to the brutal days that taught you to keep your head while the room panicked. You will point to the tired nights where you still shipped. You will point to the apologies you made when you were wrong and the boundaries you drew when you were right. You will point to the mornings where you chose to move your body, sharpen your mind, and frame your day before the world laid its hands on it. You will point to that relentless, quiet march forward, and anyone paying attention will understand. If you hear a voice whispering that you're not ready, translate it correctly. You're not finished. That is different. Not finished is a cause for movement, not retreat. Begin before you feel qualified. Build while you are learning. Improve as you go. The first version won't carry your name forever. It's just the bridge to the version that will. Start small and intense. Start now. The gap between who you are and who you want to be will not close by accident. It closes because you start making choices that inconvenience your comfort and honor your calling. It closes because you replace entertainment with education more often than not. It closes because you refuse the drama that evaporates your bandwidth. It closes because you lean into the friction that makes you stronger. The gap closes because you keep walking when your feelings beg you to sit. You don't need to feel invincible. You need to feel responsible. Responsibility is portable power. Carry it into every room. When you focus on yourself instead of everyone else, you're not being selfish. You are finally being useful. You are building a life that can carry weight, create value, and lift others without collapsing. Comparison is a thief with a doctorate in deceit. It makes you forget what you actually want and what you already have. Replace comparison with calibration. Compare today's you with last week's you. Adjust the dials. Tweak the inputs. Tune the instrument. Become obsessed with the craft of your own evolution. That obsession is not a prison. It's a form of love. It is a commitment to bring your strongest, cleanest self to the people who need you. And they do need you at your best, not your most distracted. So look up. Breathe. Set your intention. Pick your one thing. Then give it the hour it deserves. Give it the week. Give it the year. Nothing else will feel the same once you've experienced the velocity of a focused life. You already know what the climax of this story is supposed to be. The moment where you stop begging for a lighter burden and start building a stronger back. This is that moment. The lights are on. The room is quiet. You can hear your own pulse. This is the sound of a decision. Decide that you will not be another person who sells their potential at a discount to fit inside someone else's expectations. Decide that you will not be another person who delays their life until the conditions become perfect. Decide that you will not be another person who knows and doesn't do. Decide that you will live with the ferocity of someone who understands that time is not a renewable resource, that attention is sacred, that intention is a magnet, that excellence is a moral choice, that love without standards is sentimentality, and standards without love is tyranny, and you will choose both love and standards held together by courage. Decide that the road can be lonely and still be worth walking. Decide that when you reach the end of your day, you will be able to say, I moved the needle, I honored my values, I built the future. Decide and then do what decisions require. Act right now. Stand up. Close the gap between the person you imagine and the person you choose to be. Put your hands on the work. Pick up the tool. Hit send. Make the call. Ship the draft. Lift the weight. Drink the water. Pay the debt. Apologize. Forgive. Release. Focus. breathe, build, keep building. And when you get tired, remember the promise you made to yourself in this breath. The lonely road is also the clean road, and the clean road is where momentum lives. Walk it long enough, and you will look up one day to discover it is not lonely anymore. It is filled with people who kept their promises too, people who refused to surrender their sovereignty, people who chose clarity over noise and service over applause. You will recognize them by the way they move, unhurried, unafraid, unconfused. And you will recognize yourself in them. You will know without needing permission that you belong among builders. You always did.